marketing out there to do. I think a lot of you may do it naturally a little bit already. So we're going to work on creating raving fans. Has anybody heard of the book Raving Fans by Kim Blanchard? Mm-hmm. This is, I read it 3 or 4 times a year. I mean, it's just a phenomenal book. It takes you about an hour and a half to read. Okay, so it's about my reading level. I'm going to give away a copy today. I've got a secret bonus question at the end of the presentation, all right? So if you're the first to answer, I'll give you a copy. It's the most fun to do, okay? So it's the most fun type of marketing for me as Raving Fans, and we're going to add it to our arsenal of other marketing pillars we've talked about, all right? Before we get into that, how's everybody doing on the greatness tracker? All right, good.
Crickets in here.
I implore you, embrace the greatness tracker. It will make your life better. Your business life, personal life, everything. It's a phenomenal tool. So, we've got that CD. Now, here's a new one. This is called Overcoming Change by Muggsy Bogues. Okay? We have any basketball fans here? Anybody heard of Muggsy Bogues?
No. It's real short, right? Real short guy.
Got a question. Is anybody here about 5'3"?
Yeah.
Anybody? Who's about that tall? Betty, would you stand up? Do you mind?
No, she's short.
Do you think Betty could compete in the NBA?
Yeah,
With her
she's
height?
fast.
I think you could. Thank you, Betty. Muggsy Bogues is 5'3". He spent 14 years in the NBA. Okay, he was a leader. He started out at the age 5. He got shot by a double-barrel shotgun. He grew up in a very poor neighborhood. His dad was incarcerated at the age of, I think, 14. And he talks on here. You're not going to get any real estate strategies, how to make a bunch of money. We like to mix it up a little bit. But this gentleman, I listened to it again this morning on the way in because I knew we'd be talking about it. I'm bawling in tears. I'm just telling you, he's got an amazing story we can all learn from, but at the end he talks about his parents a little bit. I'm just bawling like a little baby. So I encourage you guys to listen to this CD. And the question for the day is there anything you can't do? Okay? Now we look at Muggsy Bogues, who's 5'3" and plays in the NBA for 14 years. If he was to come to tell me that, I'd probably say, you know what, we all got an limitation, son.
Yeah,
We're not
but
going to
what
play in the
years?
NBA.
What years was he playing?
Currently.
No, he retired. He's done
Within
that.
the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
No, but when? What years did he cover?
It was like 90 to 2005, around that range.
Okay.
So I think it was shorter than Spud Webb. But the point is, when you look at, as us as realtors, and relate it back to our business, what can't you do? Okay? We were talking in there, a little frustrated with this. I don't have time to get everything done. We all have those issues, there's no doubt. But there is a way to do it. Other people have done it. So when I look at items that come up in my world, like I got one this morning on a flip, on an FHA, over 90 days, but the value increased a larger percentage and there's all kinds of problems now, that's why I get the big bucks. Okay? That's why I get the big bucks. There's ways to make this happen. If a 5'3" gentleman can be in the NBA for 14 years, and again, I just encourage you to listen. He talks about all the things. They wouldn't let him play just because of his height in high school. They say, no, you're too short. What do we do when we get in our day when people say, no, you can't do this? Last week I had an underwriter say, no, you can't do this. I had to elevate. I had to get out of my comfort zone and challenge them and go to our vice president of operations. And then I was ready to go to the president if I lost there. Okay? But I won because I believed in it. So I think a lot of that is the belief system. So please listen to this one. It's a different kind of audio CD. All right? It's not tactics. It's not numbers, anything like that. It's just about how to overcome challenges. All right? Everybody's getting these, correct? And if we need back copies for certain ones, let me know. I have zillions of them. Okay? All righty. Why do people work with you? We're clear about that, right? So we're going to talk about a marketing pillar called Raving Fans. And the reason the Raving Fan marketing pillar is so important is they're going to be, are you guys going to mess up?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Are we clear? Are we clear? This was earlier in my career. And the reason I think I'm a great lender now is because all the mistakes I made. I think that's really what builds somebody up, because you just can't teach everybody this. It's a Friday afternoon. I'm going home. It's a beautiful day. I'm just over the bridge in West Sac, and I get a phone call from Carol Kellogg. You guys know Carol Kellogg?
Yes.
pretty successful realtor. I had the opportunity to work with her, and she says, did you call the Johns? Because we were supposed to fund it and we didn't. And I said, yeah, I left them a message. She's all, you left them a message? I go, yeah. She goes, well, they're at a payphone, him and his whole family in a U-Haul, wanting to know if they can pick up their keys, and I'm going to let you call them and tell them no.
Nice.
I mean, that's honestly, in 22 years, that's the worst call I've ever gotten in my life. So I left a message, I was in a hurry, and said, by the way, we didn't fund it. They were moving, they probably had their phone turned off. That was a pretty huge error, would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, it was huge. Now, did I continue working with Carol? Yep. I had that relationship. She was a raving fan of mine. Okay? And that's why more than ever the raving fans are important, because especially in this market, things are going to get delayed. I'm going to have to call you and say, hey, Kirsten, the tax return validations didn't come in. We're not going to close on the 15th like I told you I needed to. Now we're going to close it on the 20th, even though I just made her jump through all those hoops to close on the 15th. So if you have the relationship there, it's more likely to stay intact. So does anybody here have any stories where they made a mistake? Anybody want to share one? Oh, there we go.
So this is back in my lender days. This is when the rates went from 7 to 8 within minutes.
Yeah.
What was it, late 90s? I was in the process of working with a first-time home buyer. I was the lender. It picked it up as a floor call. And they just thought I was the bomb. But they wouldn't let me lock. So I said, okay, fine. We're getting ready to draw docs, and I can't draw docs because I can't lock it because the rates are just doing this. And we literally went from 7% to 8%. Well, thank God I got them approved at 8% because that was just the kind of lender I was. I always got them approved for higher, just in case. I had to pick up that phone and I had to tell my new home buyers that we were no longer going to get a 7% loan, we were going to get an 8% loan. And I did not at any time make it their fault. Not once. They're the ones who told me I couldn't lock. Never at any time. I said, I should have picked up the phone yesterday, we should have locked this yesterday, this is my bad. You know, they did 4 more houses and I got 4 more loans from them because I owned it.
Yep.
I owned being human.
Yep. No, that's true. When that
But it
happens,
really
own
wasn't
it.
your fault.
Own it.
No, but it doesn't matter. Just because it's not my fault doesn't mean I'm not going to accept the blame to make them feel better.
Nope, without a doubt. Anyone else want to share some fun things about that? I think it's worth it for us to know that that's going to happen. No other brave souls?
I didn't know that we can better yours. That was a good one.
That's like the worst one. I'm trying to think of a worse scenario. Now, I ended up getting a referral of them afterwards. Because you're going to, and I tell people, like when I work with a new realtor, I'll say, I'm going to tell you about myself, I'm going to screw up on one of your deals. I want to be crystal clear. Now, when it happens, it's how I handle it. Okay? Anybody who doesn't say that, I think you're kind of fibbing your clients. Because I don't know a realtor or lender who's not made a mistake.
That's right.
And this environment is so much harder, there's more mistakes being made. And I'm not even sure if mistakes are the right word, but there's just things that are going to go bad. So, if you have that raving fan relationship, things can go bad and you're still okay. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's why we're going to spend some time on that today. Okay, so let's talk about raving fans a little bit. It's about a new manager who has a fairy godmother named Uncle Charlie. Okay? And Uncle Charlie's there to kind of help him learn some things. And they talk about 3 keys, he calls them magic secrets. Okay? And you guys have them here in your handouts. Or at least you have a blank form on it. Okay? The 3 magic secrets for raving fans. Anybody know number 1? Decide what you want. Okay? Decide what you want. And I know this seems kind of basic, but it's key. So when they looked at, we did our vision, we created our perfect vision, we talked about that, the income goals and things like that, who's going to do what. That's a little bit what they're talking about, but if you look at your business as a real estate business, what do you want from it? Okay? And I'd like you to write down just a couple of things and really be clear on this. Is it income? I want $100,000 a year. Is that your vision? I want to work only by referral. I want to work all the internet leads of Boomtown. I want to build a passive income stream of other realtors that I bring in to connect. What is it that you want out of your business? Be selfish. All right? Questions on that? I'm getting some blank stares. Have you never thought about it that way? This business is here to serve who? You. Right? I want to work with only buyers, only sellers, only investors, or a mix of the three. What is it that you want? What's your perfect vision? So secret number one is decide what you want. So what are some of the things that you guys came up with? Not a rhetorical question. What do you want to do with
Happy
this?
clients and free time.
What's that?
Money, happy clients and free time.
There you go. What else? What does that look like?
Paradise.
Dream.
Does that look like buyers who are want to buy mobile homes at $50,000?
No.
I mean, let's be clear. I know some lenders that work with certain ethnicities where they put like 5 families on every loan. That's like 5 loan applications. I mean, that's like 5 times the work. That's not my vision for what my business is. So are you primarily listings? If you look at the economic engine for real estate agents, how do you guys make more money?
More contacts.
More what?
Contacts.
More content?
Higher
More
price.
closings?
Higher
Higher sale
price.
price. I'm sorry. You get it's kind of weird. You guys get the same split on a $500,000 house and a $50,000 house. So you might as well work the upper end market. So decide in the vision what you want. Okay? Magic secret number 2. Discover what the client wants. You've got what you want. Now what does the client want? Okay? So they talk about a grocery store called Sally's Market in the book. Okay? Valet parking. Think about it. If you could build the perfect grocery store, would it look like this? It's got valet parking. It's got red carpet coming up to the store. There's an advisor who greets you and shows you your buying habits and gives you a list of the things you've bought in the past and where to shop. They give you coupons for the products you bought in the past. They have a shoe shine company there. Okay? And they have the special fresh fruit of the day at half price. I mean, if you could design the perfect vision, okay, of what does the client want. Okay? Questions on that? So, on the Sally's Market store, they don't do film developing. Okay? Because that wasn't the vision of the owner of the store. Alright? That's not what he wanted, so they didn't do film developing. And the reason I bring that up is real estate, do you have some things that you don't want to do? Like show houses in Galt and Dixon? I know some realtors who do that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just saying what's your vision? I remember working with the Gations, they worked 2 blocks in East Sac and that was it. Everything else got farmed out. What's your vision? Alright? Now I want to have a little bit of fun with this. I look at, you guys, primarily real estate agents are my client. Okay? So, what is your desire from your lender? What do you want from your lender? Okay, can we have a little fun with this? So shout some things out.
Communication.
Phone calls.
Communication. Only 10 of you yelled that one.
Updates, regular updates.
What else?
Regular updates.
Okay, let's do communication, regular updates.
Deliver on your promise.
Close the deal.
Go on, deliver what you promised, so be honest.
Honesty.
Honesty, oh, they got a big honesty there, okay.
No surprises at the end.
No surprises.
Close on time.
Who said close on time?
Me.
Smartest lady in the room.
What else do you want out of your lender?
Trust.
Huh?
Trust.
Trust.
Lunch.
That's kind of good, more honesty too, huh?
CDs every week.
What else, what else? That it? All the things you're learning, that's all you want?
I think
Competent.
future relationship integrity. You know, we like to think that every time a person comes to you that has a connection with us, that it'll come right back around and it'll.
So like
I don't know how to
referrals?
put that.
Referrals?
Referrals is
What
part of that.
about knowledge?
Referrals? Knowledge, they better know what they're doing.
Up to date on everything that's going on.
Flexibility, like
Okay,
options.
now it's a vision.
Has options. On loans types.
Creative.
Okay. Anybody else want any more? Let's prioritize these a little bit. What's the top three? Okay, would communication be a top three one?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Would honesty be a top three one?
Yeah.
For sure? Okay. No surprises?
Yeah.
Close on time?
No.
No, close on time?
Knowledge.
Referrals?
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Knowledge?
Yeah.
So these would be the three. Knowledge, honesty, and communication. All right, you guys are sure?
Well, a lot goes under,
What's that?
a lot goes under some of those, like
Okay, okay.
the knowledge.
All right. Of these three, which one's the most important?
Communication.
That one. Honesty.
Knowledge.
Huh?
Honesty and trust.
That would be one. Communication number two?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, maybe knowledge.
Knowledge two?
Honestly, I might put knowledge as number one. Because I have someone that's really honest with me and communicates well with me, but doesn't really understand
Right.
FHA or doesn't understand VA, could put me in a bad spot.
Okay.
I
If you
lost
take-
a deal from a stupid guy that.
No name calling, especially about lenders now, okay?
But
So I
can I
think
just
I
say,
agree with the knowledge part.
can I just say that's important, but if you don't have honesty, that guy can lie through his
Wow,
teeth and
that's
be very
true.
knowledgeable, and that to me is the worst thing in the world.
That's
That'll
true.
lose,
Yeah,
you know.
that's
Okay,
true.
so we'll say knowledge is two. It's okay if we don't all agree, they're close here. And then communication's three?
But yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
Absolutely.
You kind of take that.
At least he can be honest about not knowing stuff.
Yeah. That's true.
All right, so
If
that's,
they're honest enough, they'll send you somewhere else.
so that's the vision for the perfect lender,
Or
right?
they'll tell you and then they'll go check it out. Yeah.
That's the vision for the perfect lender, right?
Okay.
All right, so let's see how well I know my audience. This is the first time I didn't get 3 out of 3. I'm a little upset. So I had close on time. Usually that's the first thing I get. You can hate your word, but that's okay.
Nothing goes
Communication often and be honest. So I got 2 out of 3. Is that a worthwhile question to ask? What is it? Is this like, or is this like, you got to be a master skills person to do this?
Not
I mean,
necessarily.
it cracks me up. Your guys' expectations of lenders is down here, right? Don't lie to me.
Actually,
Call me once in a while and know what you're doing.
our expectations are actually really up here, but y'all have beat us down to where it's down here.
Don't be throwing me there. So, for your vision now, okay, let's have some fun with this. What does the real estate client want? What's their vision for
That's
your
great.
business? Huh?
That's great.
No. As real estate agents.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Our funds.
What do they want? Let's talk about you guys now.
They want us to hold their hand.
Trust, I think trust is a big thing.
They want us to know the market.
So knowledgeable?
Yeah.
I want you guys to dig on this.
Honesty.
It's basically the same thing.
I got one other one, negotiation skills.
Honesty,
Communicate.
communicate. That's the #1 complaint I hear about realtors from a client.
They don't call them enough.
Lack of communication.
Negotiation.
My realtor never calls me back. Believe me, I know we get our stuff too. I'm just telling you what the client says to me. Okay, what else? Anything else?
Negotiation skills?
I think that's a key one right there. Thank you, Tammy. If I'm going to hire a realtor, I want somebody who's a heavy hitter negotiator.
How about experience? It's a little different than knowledge.
Anything
You know, how
else?
about personable? Because if an agent isn't personable,
You're gonna like
yeah. Well, not only that, but the other agents have to like them too,
That's true.
Why will people work with you?
because they like you.
Personable's a big one for sure.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, think about this when you have your vision of what you want your business, and you have their vision. Okay? So give me the top 3 you think they want.
Honesty.
Personable,
Knowledgeable.
knowledgeable, come on, help me out.
Knowledgeable.
I'm going to guess and say honesty's one, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Give me what's the top 2 or 3?
Communication.
And knowledgeable.
Knowledge.
Personal.
Yeah, probably the same.
Okay, let's say those.
Take that for granted, the knowledgeable. I assume being in the business.
Yeah, having a license.
Well,
That's true.
I know new people that are pretty knowledgeable too.
I
I think that's
understand that,
kind of
but
a big term.
I don't think that's as
But that's kind of a
Yeah, she
given.
means
They
just
go to use
because you
real
have
estate
a
because
license.
it's a given.
they're
Oh,
assuming
yes, I
that-
agree. Did you put on here that I need you to show me houses Sunday at 10 o'clock to where you miss your kid's school game? or go to church.
Flexibility?
Wow.
I didn't put that on here, is it?
No.
Sometimes I find, maybe you guys don't do, I assume what they want, and that's really not the key thing they're looking for. Okay? So if you build that relationship with them, and you know what they want, and you deliver the top ones, I don't want to use the word get away, but you can get away with a lot of other stuff. Like in my younger days, I would never tell a realtor what was going on in my personal life. I was convinced you have your business life and your personal life, and it's separate. Okay? I had a client wanted to meet on Saturday at 10. I said, I'm coaching my daughter's soccer team. I can't make it, sorry. And if it doesn't fit for them, that's okay. Now, I'll bend over backwards. We'll do another time that day or whatever because I have to be available. But my point is I'm getting honesty and having those relationships and determining what the client wants. So a fun thing to do for you guys, if you have some past clients you've closed and you kind of hang out with them, ask them this question. What's most important to you? Okay? In doing this and getting clear, you may fire some clients. Is that okay?
It is.
It's okay. There's a bunch of people who like you for wherever you are. Yeah, Tim.
I had a client just yesterday told me the reason she hired me because her dad was like old and she was doing the interview. And she interviewed a bunch of people, and the reason they liked me is because I acknowledged him, where most people just ignored him.
Yep.
Even, you know, so it was really the personability of it.
I think the hardest part for us as salespeople is we get too busy. And our intentions are pure, but just sometimes we show up to an appointment and we don't come across personally. Or we told them we'd be there at 3 o'clock and we show up at 3:15. I'm sorry, you're not honest now. You told me you'd be there at 3 and you show up at 3:15. I hired a property manager guy for the first time. I've known this guy forever. He shows up 20 minutes late to the first meeting, 15 minutes late to the second meeting. Okay? Problem is, he's so damn personable and I like him so much, I'm still sticking with him.
Isn't that more reliable?
Well, then just expect him
Not
always to be
necessarily
15
honest,
plus minutes late.
Yeah, but it really bugs me he's not honest with me. I'm a big time
That's what,
fan.
15 minutes earlier.
Yeah, but you're assuming that he's lying to you on purpose, and that's not necessarily
Whoa, whoa,
the
whoa,
case.
whoa. Are we judged by our intentions or our actions?
Action.
It doesn't matter why.
Did he call and say he was late?
Nope. I'm okay with that. Hey, I run a little bit late. I come late to meetings. I'm not perfect all the time. But if you're going to show that respect to me, this is my vision. It's not everybody. But I think our industry, I'll talk about lenders and realtors in general, are late more than we're early or on time. Why? Because we have so much darn stuff to do. So my point is just think about those things when you're dealing with your clients. Okay? I'm still working with the guy. He's got great personal skills. And I think he's got expert knowledge. Sorry, I didn't say that.
Did you express to him that time was a factor for you?
Huh? Afterwards.
Okay.
I joked around with him. I go, dude, you're never on time.
That's what I was asking.
And his funny part is, I referred him to somebody else. I said, he's a great guy. I said, he's probably going to be late to the appointment. I felt like an idiot walking away saying, I just referred a property manager guy and told him he's going to be late. Isn't that weird? But it goes back to the thing that people work with you because they like you for whatever reason. So all the sales and all the number stuff we're doing, I want to get you guys exposed to as many people as you want, and then just hang out with the people that you like and they like you. Is that a more fun business?
Yeah.
That's what the Raving fan concept's all about. All right, so we got secret number 1. What's your vision? Secret number 2. What's your client's vision? Secret number 3. Deliver +1 service. Okay? There's where we get into trying to exceeding our clients' expectations. Deliver +1. Just do something a little bit extra. What does that look like? Okay? Any ideas? Deliver +1 service?
Happy
Hey.
client.
What's that?
Happy client.
I'm sorry?
Happy client.
Well, no, if you're going to deliver something to your client,
Like
how do you deliver
a
+1 to
housewarming
them?
or a gift for when they
Exceed
move
their
in or
expectations.
Bring them a gift. Show up with a bottle of water when you go look at houses. I mean, there's 1,000 things we can do, to just little things. Call them and say, hey, I may be a couple minutes late, I apologize for that. They'll be understanding. But just think of those concepts. We don't have to, you know, I look at in my business, it's really the little things that matter. It's not the big things. Okay? I laugh so hard. We got this great marketing computer system. I'm not a big computer guy, but it tells me when people's birthdays are. So I call this guy, I've known him, we just got along, and I sing him happy birthday. It's on the voicemail. And I mean, I belted out, and my girlfriend already told me I'm tone deaf. And she's like a professional singer, so I think I really am. But I belt out the happy birthday to you, right? I get a call back about an hour later from his wife, who I've never met. And she says, oh my gosh, you made my husband feel so special. By the way, I just gave my son your phone number because he wants to buy a house.
Yeah.
Because I called somebody and saying happy birthday? I mean, it's crazy. So what I want to talk about today...
I felt sorry for you because you couldn't sing.
Have fun. Can we have more fun? My kids are teaching me this. I take myself too serious. I keep getting caught up. I think I guys told you, that my daughter, who's a genius, she heard me on the phone getting a little stressed up. She said, what's wrong, Daddy? I said, oh, it's just work stuff, honey. I had some bad things happen. And she looks at me and goes, Dad, build a bridge and get over it.
I've actually shared that several times. I think that's hilarious.
It's that simple. Just build a bridge. I mean, I've told this before. When we have a bad day, somebody moves in late, or costs a little more money. When a doctor has a bad day, somebody dies. We're in a great business. I love it. I love it. Okay, so deliver +1. All right, so we're in the relationship business, correct? Let's define a raving fan. A raving fan is somebody who you really like. They really like you. You would want to hang around with them. If you were to think, I'd like you guys to think of some raving fans you may have, and I'll give you an example of one that I had. It took me a while to get this concept. I sold a guy, or I didn't sell a guy, I did financing for a guy in Folsom. And long story short, it was, we did some good things, jumped through some hoops, and he got the house. The house went up in value like $200,000 in equity in a short time, and he gave me credit for that. He did, Chris, I would not have done this house without you. Worked for AT&T, bragged about me to everybody he knew. Okay? I'm going, wait a minute, this guy's a raving fan. And I'm going to show you, I categorize him in my database as a raving fan, and I take care of him and market to him in a fun way. Because a raving fan, on average, will send you 2 closings per month. Okay? Do you guys disagree with that? I mean, do you know some extroverts who've impacted their life somehow, and they'll say, oh, you got to call Mark. This guy's just a bomb. Oh, he will take total care of you. You guys know what I'm talking about? And then when I get that lead, and the client says, oh, Mark just rant and raved about you. Oh my gosh, they're not shopping me with Quicken, LendingTree.com, comparing me with 3 other agents. You know what I mean? It's a better quality of lead. So do me a favor right now, write down, if you can, 5 people that you think are raving fans or have the potential to be raving fans of yours. Okay? 5 people. Everybody done that? Who here was able to come up with 5? You're a step ahead of the game. When I first started this, I had like 1 or 2. I had to really think about it. Okay? So what I call this, I call it the $300,000 handshake. Okay? How do you do? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. How much, you ever thought about how much one handshake could be worth? If I close 2 transactions as a result of this handshake per year over 20 years, it's $300,000, assuming a $250,000 purchase price for a real estate agent. Okay? It's $300,000 for one handshake. Are we in the people business, the relationship business? It's huge. It's huge. I forget about that sometimes. And it's all, hey, good to see you, man. Yeah, I got to go. Right? I'm too busy. If we identify those key people, okay? Again, remember, you gotta like them. They need to like you. Okay? And focus our energy on that. Like, you're gonna spend your time and energy where you focus it, right? What's the best way to lose weight? Step on the scale every day. That's gonna bring a top-of-mind awareness. Okay? Step on that scale every day. So to me, I think about the people I meet. And I've got a couple of those. We're on our way to 300,000. That's a big deal. Okay? So why not design your marketing plan around that to spend time with those folks? It's fun. Okay? So can you look at the marketing table that I put together here in your handout? Here's a possible scenario for a marketing plan. Okay? 5 raving fans. Only 5. Okay? If you found 5 people that you love, they love you and they're extroverts, that could result in 10 closings over the year. Okay? Let's say you did your database to your mailer once a month, and you got 4 from there. You did a geographical farm and picked up 4 closings, 2 expired listings, or whatever else you may do, 4 deals from open houses. That's 24 closings. Average commission of 75, and this is kind of low, 6% off the top and an 80% split. I think you guys get more than that. But that's $135,000 a year right there. That's a possible theoretical marketing plan, correct? And that would not take a bunch of hours to do those things. Questions on that? All right, let's talk about something even more fun. How do we cultivate the raving fan? This is what I call the raving fan tracking sheet. Okay, so let's have some fun with this. So, and here's the deal. We can cultivate raving fans. And what I mean by that is, I guarantee you there's people out there that are potential raving fans, and you're letting them slip below the radar. Okay? They're slipping below the radar. So, of those 3 or 5 that you wrote down, maybe you get a list of 10 or 15, okay? A list of 10 or 15 of those, and then you cultivate them, and you want to convert them to raving fan status. Does that make sense? Again, let's even think about this. Let's say you worked on this and you got 10 raving fans. That's 20 closings a year. Okay? And I'm going to give you a detailed, specific marketing plan on how to cultivate raving fans. To me, between that and the mailers to your database is a beautiful, beautiful marketing plan, which will free up more time so we can do the things we want to do more of. All right, so the first one, let's say you list out 15. And let's say you're going to do this for 6 months, and only 2 or 3 become raving fans. That's a huge success. Look at what you're going to do to get that raving fan there. How about a dinner at your house? All right? Invite them over for dinner. That's no big deal. If you don't want to bring people to your house, invite them out to a restaurant. Someplace cozy and nice. Okay? Spend some time with them. When they come over, what are you going to talk about? Them. It's their favorite subject. We're clear, right?
Yep.
All right. Send them a card. This is pretty complicated stuff here. I know. Don't get bored with the simplicity of it, please. Send them a card. Maybe it's a week later. You can put this in an Excel spreadsheet and have alarms go off if you want. Send them a personal card. Set up a lunch or a coffee meeting with them. All right? I've got some fun with Kirsten talking about that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I meet with quite a few realtors. I had a 8-year veteran realtor. About 8 years a veteran, but 8-year guy pretty good up in Lyon. And he goes, I don't understand what you mean. How do you go have a cup of coffee with somebody? He got really honest with me. He goes, I don't know what I'd say. What do I talk about? And I think a lot of people feel that way. They're just too embarrassed to do that. I remember one time I invited a guy, and I said, hey, you want to go for a cup of coffee? And he said, why? I'm like, I don't know. You seem like a nice guy. Okay. So I had to learn it. Now I'm a little more polished than that. But my point is, it's okay if you don't know how to do these or you're uncomfortable with them. Just start. What do we have to lose? Nothing. All right, so you have a lunch or a coffee meeting. You have a Ford call. Anybody know what Ford stands for?
Yeah. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams.
Where did you learn that at?
I worked at C21 many, many years ago.
And they covered that? I stole it from Stump, I think, or somebody. I don't know. It wasn't mine. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Okay? This, I'm telling you, is simple. It works all the time. Networking at a mixer. You're stuck in an elevator and you feel awkward. I use this all the time. All the time. And people go, wow, he's a great guy. You know why? I got them to talk about themselves the entire time, or most of it. And it's fun if you get with somebody else and you can see you're dueling back and forth to try to get the other guy to talk more about them than they're trying to get you to talk. But it basically starts out like this. Kirsten, how's the family doing?
Great.
Great. Oh, really? God, how John Michael's down in college. How's he doing? What's her favorite topic? Probably her kids, then herself. Right? So if I want to get Kirsten to like me, I'm going to talk about her kids. Right? Occupation. Kirsten, what's it like joining Connect Realty? How's it going? God, I hear the real estate market's unbelievable right now. Right? Oh, I love doing real. Oh, yeah. Gosh, recreation. What are you doing for fun? I know John golfs all the time. Are you a golfer? What have you been doing? Playing with the kids? You're driving down to see them in the Southern Cal? What's going on? Talk about our dreams. What do you got? What long term? You guys going to sell real estate on the ocean? Or are you going to retire? What do you guys really want to do? I like talking. If somebody was asking me, I'd babble on and on and on and on. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Okay? You can use that over and over again, by the way. You know that, right? And a lot of great salespeople do that naturally. They'll say, hey, how's the family? How's the job going? This is just a little more of a systematized format. Send them a custom CMA. I promise you, real estate guy, please believe me, us non-realtors would love to know what our house is worth. Okay? So I believe in the law of reciprocation. If you give somebody something, they kind of feel compelled to give something back. So if I was a realtor, I would have my top 25 or whatever it was, and I would probably once a year, twice a year say, hey, just thought I'd close this. I don't know if you're interested or not. Here's some of the closings around your house, what your home may be worth. Nice, low key, and easy. 2 houses just popped up on the street next to me. I'm dying to know what they're listed for. Now, I'm not planning on buying or selling right now, okay? But I'm just curious as heck. Kirsten drops those to me. All that does is put her in my top of mind awareness. If I'm not buying or selling a house, chances are I may know somebody. So during that time, she drops that off, it's sitting on the counter, and I find out the neighbors next door are getting a divorce and they need to sell and buy. Oh, God, talk to Kirsten. She definitely knows the market here. See what I'm saying? It's those little things like that. Birthday card and gift. I'm telling you, the gifts go a long ways. Little, silly, sentimental gifts, cute gifts. I will tell you, John David has a very unique knack to send cards that are highly inappropriate. Okay? But I kind of like him. So it's kind of funny he does that stuff. But he's very thoughtful that way. He sends me cards all the time. That binds us. Call for my cell phone, of course, on your Bluetooth or headset. All right. Put in your top 10 people on your cell phone. So when you're stuck in traffic, and you will be, boop, 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 boop. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Oh, it's Chris over here. You know what, Mark? Here's like the best script I've ever heard. Hey, Mark, I was just thinking about you. What's happening? Oh, what are you up to? I was just thinking about you. I'm sitting in the car. What are you up to? All right, Mark, great talking. You're not there to close them. Hey, Mark, you know anybody who wants to buy or sell real estate? That's not the purpose of it. It's building that relationship. Okay? Again, think about it. If you could do this with 10 folks, that's 20 closings. Last one, invite out. Ballpark, Kings game, whatever you want to do. Go to the play, go do something fun. All right? Now, of all the marketing systems you guys have ever heard in your career, are any of them more fun than this? I mean, this is just hanging with people you like. Okay? Be real clear. If you don't like somebody and they send you a bunch of business, don't make them a raving fan. Don't invite somebody over your house for dinner if you don't like them. It will show through. Okay? It will show through. I got the funniest story I'll tell real quick. Anybody know Carol Hall from Coldwell Banker? Sure. She's been around a long time. I got to know her, this was just about 5 or 6 years ago, and I got taught this. So I invited her over for dinner. And my son's like 5, and my daughter's like 3. And he might have been a little older. Anyway, we bring them into dinner. We're having a nice sit-down dinner. My wife's there, the kid's there, we're having this. And my son says, hey, Dad, I heard a joke. Can I tell it? He's like 5, right? I'm all, sure, son, what is it? I don't remember, but he said the penis word, okay? And Carol Hall is like this nice friend. I mean, just the nicest. I'm mortified. I'm all, Clifford, quiet. I'm all quiet. I'm so sorry. Carol laughed her butt off. Our relationship was cemented. She had kids and grandkids. She knows that's what happens sometimes. All right? So when you do those types of things, it creates the relationship. I still talk to Carol to this day. She's kind of retired now and doing some little stuff here and there, but she still sends me a lead once in a while. It was that binding relationship. That's what this raving fan stuff does. Okay? Sorry, hopefully that wasn't... No, we got that on tape. Can you bleep that out? So questions on the raving fan portion?
I really like to see CMA do that with the letter maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah. Can you hire your somebody else to do it if you don't want to? Outsource it. You can put parameters, just do the basics. Well, you know, I used to, on certain realtors, when they're trying to build their business, I say mail out 5 a day. Pick a geographic farm and mail out 5 CMAs a day. You will get business off of that. You will get phone calls. It's the law of reciprocation. That's Zig Ziglar, not me. You do something nice for somebody else, they're going to want to do it back to you. So give them the gifts. I have more fun with this than anything marketing-wise that I've ever done. And if you get a good base of raving fans, then it gets even easier. I say, hey Mark, do you know anybody else like you who I may get along with? Because people refer people like themselves. So if I like Mark and we're hanging out and he's sending me like a upper loan amount and upper sales price and he's an extrovert and he's a raving fan of mine, he'll send me somebody else. And then I'm going to start this process all over again with him. Okay? And I'll say, hey, can you make a cup of coffee? I'll send him a card. All of those types of things. Questions on this? All right, I'm going to give you a super whammy here. Again, it's not real complicated. Sorry, these were supposed to be... Pencil that, Mark. In your stack here, they didn't make it. So here's a really complex system I'm going to share with you. So what my coach made me do was identify 50 people that are potential raving fans, because we want to convert them, right? So I mailed out this questionnaire to 50 people that I think liked me, okay? Realize even if you never sold a house for them, if they're a raving fan for you, it's okay, all right? There's still people out there who, they just like to refer people. It's weird. So what I did was I sent a letter with a gift certificate and a questionnaire, all right? You can rewrite the letter or use your own style, but this is the system where I started. So I identified 50 people and I mailed out a letter. The title, ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, okay? Dear Teresa, in the never-ending quest to improve my service level, I've come to realize the importance of relationships. I have decided to devote more time and energy with people that I enjoy being around and further strengthen these relationships. Please take a moment to complete the enclosed questionnaire and enjoy an ice cream on me. Thank you in advance. I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay? This is all sincere. I'm looking to strengthen my relationships. Okay? I give them a $5 Sunday certificate or something like that. And then here's the questionnaire that I sent. It was my letterhead a little more fancy and all that. It gives them the name, their birthday, their occupation, their work, their email. For them and their spouse if they have somebody else. Their mailing address, children and their age, their favorite restaurant, their top 3 hobbies, and the best way to get a hold of them. Okay? Now, I send out 50 to 50 people that I know really well that love me, right? I only get like 25 back. So I'm personally offended by the other 25 who didn't send it back, right? I take it personal. I call them and yell at them. Also, I include a postage paid envelope in there, just so you know. So it's real easy for them to fill it out and send it back. Bottom line, I get about 18 back, okay, out of 50. I call the rest, try to get a couple more straggle in. Then I have the information, okay? So then I'm talking to Kirsten, and I talk to her for something like that, or she does something really nice for me, and I find out her favorite restaurant's the Elephant Bar. And I send her a gift certificate for $50 to the Elephant Bar, okay? Now we're going back on the Raving Fan tracking sheet, okay? Kirsten lists on here that one of her favorite hobbies is golf, okay? So I send her, I see an interesting article in Golf Magazine, or best golf places, or buy her book on golf, and I send it to her. You guys know, I think it's the older you get, the more sincere the gift is, the more it means to you. I really don't care about the price. I mean, if I get something sincere, like it's really cool that I like, you know what I mean? Like a guy gave me a soccer video, I worship that thing, 'cause I'm a brand new soccer coach and I don't know what I'm doing. Okay? And this guy found the time to get me a soccer video. Dude, I'm gonna remember that guy forever. And that's just way cool. So this is kind of like cheating on the test. Right? This business we're in is a test, and here's the answers. Will you tell me what you like and what you want? Alright? Favorite hobbies. And the fact that you just reach out and ask them this, they're already kind of honored. The fact that you will take the time to do this.
What do you do, like Baskin Robbins?
I'm sorry?
Baskin Robbins?
Yeah, this one's actually Baskin Robbins. I've done Starbucks too.
Cold Stone Creamery will sell you a whole bunch of them at a discount.
There's all kinds of things out there.
Like how much?
Cold Stone Creamery.
$5?
I did $5. Yeah. But, and there's another way to build relationships. I know certain smaller coffee houses and stuff like that, they'll sell you at a discount, these types of things. Well, build a relationship with that person. What if you could make the coffee vendor a raving fan of yours? You see what I'm saying? And the reason this is such a powerful marketing system to me is because it's the most fun. And the leads are better than any leads. Because the person that's coming was referred to you by a raving fan, and for whatever reason, they just think you're the bomb. You know, they think that they would not have gotten that house if it wasn't for you. I had a cute guy. This guy was a kind of a quiet guy. Anyway, it took him a year to get a house for like $120,000, and the realtor was showing him houses like from Galt to Tahoe, right? And they went in escrow, and this realtor updated the client every week. Hey, there's still no news, but this is what's going on. There's still no news, you know what I mean? And he comes to me and he goes, hey, is it okay if I get the realtor a gift? And I'm all, well, yeah, why? He goes, I know she's not making any money off me. It's been over a year, and I'm buying a really small sales price, and I'd like to get her something really nice. Of course. That guy's going to be a raving fan for her. Okay? Now, he's kind of an introvert and quiet, so maybe he won't be a raving fan, but he will always be very fond of her. Okay? Questions on the raving fan concept?
Good idea.
It's pretty simple, huh? It's worth spending time on. If I was to do a priority for marketing to get leads in, I would probably do database first, mail to it once a month, and then raving fans second. I might interchange those. Just because these take longer to cultivate. But like when you look at realtors who've been in the business a long time, they get calls from people out of the blue. Because they worked with them 20 years ago. We were talking earlier, some people are doing real estate for their grandchildren of their original client. Okay? Got to stay in touch with them. Okay? This is a measurement tool though. You can still hang out with friends and people who aren't referring you, but pick a couple to target and try this on. It's just a phenomenal tool, and it's the most fun. I love that. I love that. Okay, any other questions? Do we talk about raving fans enough? Birthday cards. What's the best way to make sure this happens?
Do it.
Do it.
And what's the best system to do it?
Have somebody else do it.
You guys are, actually I wasn't thinking that one, but okay, you're right. To start out, before you delegate it, what's the best way to do it?
Time block it.
Who said it? Put it in your calendar. That's it. You gotta put it in your calendar. Time block it. Treat it like you're meeting with $1 million all cash buyer. Okay? Don't miss that appointment you set for in your calendar. Follow that calendar. Be disciplined. And this will lead to more free time on your behalf. Because now you're raising the quality of your client. Okay? You're raising the quality of your client. Alright? And it's fun at the same time. I know some people I love and adore, but they're probably never going to buy more than a $100,000 purchase price. Okay? They're still friends of mine, we know that, but they're not people I'm targeting to get more business out of. I got some other people that are in the upper price range. I'm targeting more for them when it comes to being proactive. When it comes to sending them a magazine subscription. When it comes to calling them on their birthday. Talking about their kids. All of those things. Alright, and I got a question for you. How much was the handshake worth?
300,000.
Who said it? I think that was you. Here's your raving fan. Now you got to promise you'll read it.
I will.
Okay? And you'll let the group know what you thought of it.
Okay.
That's good stuff. Alright, any other questions on raving fans?
I went to this conference and there was this couple that sold a book that just came out like this week called Clients First. And it's kind of just like yours, and that's what they talk about is, you know, make the clients the most important thing. And that's like it just took their business to like a whole new level.
Mhm.
I'll bring in one of the books to the office. We should start like a little library and books, lots of people read.
When you get through, give it to me.
Yeah,
Is
actually,
this-
I got an extra one to ask.
Is this a new concept? This is just the basics. You know, I love the structure to keep you on track. You can computerize this if you want, make an alarm to go off. But I have found, even to this day, I had lunch with a realtor last month. I've been working for her for like 11 years now. She calls me up. I haven't heard from you in a couple months. Oh. Oh. Luckily, she called me. Because if there wasn't a Raving family relationship there, I would just never hear from her again. Okay? You've got to have systems to stay in touch with your folks, even if it's an email or a card or something. Really important to identify those folks. Okay? Follow that system. Any other questions?